play me all you want, but baby, you're playing yourself. You played yourself out of a good girl. Welcome back to my channel. My name is S and this is my mess. If this is your first time coming across my YouTube channel, firstly, thank you for tuning in. But before you leave, make sure that you subscribe so you can be notified every single time that I post. I know what you guys came here for, as you can tell by the title of the video. This is a story time about how your girl, your girl got played. So let's get right into it. Make sure you have a snack, something to sip on, some tea or whatever you need, because this tea is piping hot, baby girl. I went ahead and got me some tea. Yes, you see that University of Maryland Eastern Shore, baby, alumnus status. But no, so yeah, let's just get into the video. So what are we gonna call this guy? Let's call him Red. Okay, so boom. Me and Red met back in my early 20s. Mind you, I'm turning 24 July 2nd, period, Cancer status, period. We're the best of the horoscope. I don't even freaking know. I just know I'm the best, so that means we're all the best. Me and dude met back in like my early 20s. Mind you, I used to be one of them girls that was like, oh, that could never be me. Baby, that was definitely me. Like, and that wasn't the only time I got played.
And
So, yeah. Okay. So, we met back in my early 20s. So this is a little backstory about me and how I got him to slide in my DMs. So 9 times out of 10, when I'm feeling a dude, especially back then, I would plot on you. Like, I didn't really know how to confront a dude or like shoot my shot at the time, but I knew for a fact, like, if I wanted you, like, and I was like motivated, I was gonna get you. And that's not even off no cockiness, but that's just straight, like, if I want you, I'm gonna try to get you. It's not 100% guaranteed that I'm gonna get you, but it's 100% that I'm gonna try. So I seen old dude walking through campus, and like I would like look at him and be like, ooh, like, and he was my type. So like, I like my niggas dark like Duce, period. And he was that. And I'm not gonna describe him too much because, you know, it's nosy people out here. But so I would see him walking around on campus and I would just be like, ooh, he's cute. But he didn't really associate himself with people that I knew. And at the time, I didn't really associate myself with anybody that he knew. And I kind of made myself like invisible in a sense. Like, if I want to be seen, of course I'm going to be seen. But like, if I don't want to be seen, then I'm not going to be seen. And it's just that simple. So I was just like observing from the back. Like, and I know this sounds creepy, like some you type stuff, but that's not really what I was on. I was just trying to figure out how, like, okay, how am I gonna like confront this dude, basically. So like I would see him around campus and I would just be like, oh, he is so cute. But back then, now I definitely was sliding into dudes' DMs. Back then I was on some like, no, you know, I didn't really know how to use social media because I didn't get my Twitter until like 2015, and I met the dude around that time frame. Within that, you know, early on my Twitter, like when I first got on Twitter. So I'm telling my best friend, shouts out to Casey, I'm telling my best friend that, you know, like, I'm feeling this dude. And he's like, okay, so this is what you about to do, right? He's putting me on game. He's like, all right, you're gonna go ahead, you're gonna go like a couple of his pictures. And I'm like a couple of his pictures for what? Like, cause I told you, I'm still kind of not tech savvy. Like, I'm like the grandma of the group. I be behind. It's like I live under a rock or something. And he's like, and I'm like, well, why am I liking his pictures? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, and he's like, that's gonna let him know that you're interested. He was like like a variety of pictures, like some recent, some like from the past, to let him know. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I go on Twitter, I log in, and I'm liking his pictures, right? And I'm like, okay. So I'm just like waiting, like, and he hasn't liked anything back. So I'm like, all right, bro. Like, cool. So my best friend's like, just chill out, like, give it some time. So I get off of Twitter, come back a couple hours later, and he's liked a lot of my pictures, but yet I still don't have a DM. So I'm like, what's good? I'm talking to my best friend, like, what's up? Like, what do I do? And he's like, all right, just like one more picture, like one more picture, but like a throwback. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I like a throwback picture on his profile, and then literally like less than a minute, he DMs me. And I'm not gonna post the conversation or do any of that stuff, because I feel like at the end of the day, I'm gonna respect Red's privacy, and I'm gonna respect my privacy, and I'm not gonna do that. But the conversation went along the lines like, hey, you look real cute, whatever, whatever. And you know, we was just small talk, and we was like flirting back to each other. And in typical fashion, he hit me and was like, oh, can I get your number? And me, I'm like, I'm gonna play a little hard to get, because, you know, I don't want him to know that I'm feeling him. So I'm like, oh no, I don't give out my number like that, but you can have my Snapchat. And he's like, oh, okay, I likes that. So then we transitioned from Twitter DMs to Snap. So fast forward, we're snapping each other like every now and then throughout the day, throughout a span of like a week or so. And the infamous question pops up, when am I gonna see you? When we gonna link? Because honestly, after like 3 days, like if y'all are texting and y'all don't link, like what is the point? Like, are we pen pals? Like, so I respected that. But this is where I feel like I messed up. So he was basically like, when are we gonna link? And mind you, back then, I mean, I wasn't working as much as I work nowadays, but like I was really big on like academics, which I wish would have never changed. But however, I was big on academics and I was big on going to work. So he was like, oh, you should come over. Red flag. So I wanted to pause the video and say for you guys to go ahead and put in the comments how many times you think I'm going to say red flag. Watch till the end of the video to see if you got the number right. Number 1. Ladies, if a dude ever asks you to come over for the first link, do not. I repeat, do not go over. Especially at the time that I went. So he was like, you should come over. And I was like, all right, bet, cool. I'll probably come over when I get done with my schoolwork, which me, I'm a procrastinator. So that work ain't getting done till like 11:59 on the dot. So I got done at like 11:59, got dressed, hit him up like, hey, I'm about to come over. He's like, all right, cool. So I'm texting Red. I'm like, hey, I'm outside. Excuse me. This may not be a red flag for y'all. Excuse me, y'all. But for me, I text him like, hey, I'm outside. And he's like, hold on, y'all. I text him like, hey, I'm outside. He's like, oh, hey, the door's open. Red flag number 2. The door's open. Excuse me. 1, I've never been here before. 2, I've never been here before. 3, this is our first time linking, and you're not gonna have enough decency to come to the door and open the door. But me being dumb, I'm like, okay, just tell him about it. So I'm texting him. I don't know why this was, maybe I'm tripping, but that to me was like a big like issue. So I'm texting him like, you can come to the door. And he's like, but the door's open. I'm like, sir, you can come to the door. Cool. He comes to the door. He opens the door. He lets me in. We go to his room. So boom. Mind you, guys, this is before I like rededicated my life to Christ. So I was smoking back then. So basically I had wine. I had some wine in my cup. And I don't know if you guys know what Taylor Port is, but that's trash. That is ratchet ghetto, like the ghetto. That's what I had in my cup. And he had like a J or two. I don't remember. Who cares? Regardless, that's not enough for a first link. And I'm not talking about money wise. I'm just saying, like, if a dude really is feeling you, even though he may not have the bread to like take you out, he could at least like plan something out, a picnic, a walk in the park, something, you know, that's like has more sentimental value than a J. Like, so what, sis, if he sparked you up? So what? Like, I wish I could go back to my old self and be like, bruh, you are so dumb.
Stupid. 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 Man, stupid.
But anyways, so he has that. So I'm like sipping on my wine, thinking I'm real cute. And he's rolling up the J. So I'm like, all right, bet. Like, this is about to be chill because one, we're gonna be under the influence. So, you know, that naturally makes you like relax and not be tense. And I'm just like, all right, I want to see like if we can catch a vibe. Because if I can't catch a vibe with you off the first link, I'm 9 times out of 10 like just not gonna continue wasting my time. So red flag number 3, more like red flag 2.5, depending on how you look at it. He's throwing up the J and like he's very like aggressive, like passive aggressive type. And I'm just like, okay, maybe he's had like a bad day. Cause like you invited me over here, like you asked to link me, so there should be no reason for any type of animosity. So I'm like, okay, maybe after he smokes, like he'll like chill out a little bit. So he's like cracking jokes on me, which as I got to know him, I understood that like that's just how like he jokes. It's not funny, but like he's actually genuinely like joking with you. So like he's doing these like passive aggressive jokes, and I'm just like,
y'all, this face literally describes that whole night. If I could have a face to describe how I was feeling, this is it.
like I don't find it funny, but I'm not trying to be like the vibe killer. So we smoked the J or whatever, and like it was late, so I'm like, all right, I'm trying to get comfortable. Like I'm trying to lay down, like trying to put on a Netflix. Like most basic dudes, like they put on Netflix, y'all lay down, y'all chill, y'all cuddle, like, cause it was not giving no, it was giving cuddle. But now I look back, I'm like, okay, I see how he could have interpreted the situation differently. So I'm like high now and I'm tired, I've been drinking. I'm like, all right, like I lay on his bed. I'm like, he's looking at me, I'm looking at him. Like, I'm not one of those girls that, I mean, I can be, depending on how much I like you, but like, I'm not one of them girls that come to your crib and be like this. Like how New York was on the bed. I'm gonna put the gif so y'all can see what I'm talking about. I'm not one of those girls. So like I just laid on the bed and I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, and we're just like, okay. And he basically was just looking at me, like not saying nothing. And I'm like, okay, this is so uncomfortable. Like this is so awkward. So I'm like, bro, what am I about to do? Because I'm not about to stay here the whole night with it being like this. So I tell him, I'm like, oh, I got the munchies or whatever. So I'm about to get some food. I'll be right back. When I tell y'all, I had no intention on coming back. Like, absolutely none. So I leave and I get to my crib and I'm just like, yeah. I text him, I'm like, so yeah, I actually decided to call it a night, whatever. Cause I just wasn't feeling his vibe. I felt like he didn't want me there. I felt like it was awkward. And he's just like, oh, wow. Like, I really wanted you to, you know, stay the night. I really wanted to like hang out with you and get to know you. And I'm like, really? Cause your energy was, your vibration was very low. Like, but okay. So I'm kind of like, all right, I'm over this dude because it's the end. Like I'm not someone, I don't like to force a connection because I feel like it's pointless. So I'm like, all right, I'm really not rocking with this dude. So then I stopped texting him, I stopped snapping him or whatever. He texts me like a couple days later and it's like, did I do something wrong? Like, whatever. And I'm like, I mean, you just was mad aggressive. Like, you was like passive aggressive, and I didn't understand why. Fast forward, we get past that, which I feel like I said, is like a red flag 2.5, because it's like, why was you acting that way? But that basically was just foreshadowing what I'm about to tell y'all in a little bit. So we get past that or whatever, and now we're like, he's transitioned from Snapchat to my actual phone. So fast forward, you know, when the break comes, like when summer break, especially winter break, if you make it through with your little texting buddy, pen pal, then y'all can consider maybe talking. But like summer break is really like the cutoff for anybody that you're not really taking seriously. So summer break comes around, and we've been texting now for probably like 3 weeks, a month, I don't know, somewhere around that time frame. And I'm basically like, okay, like once he, like if he dips off, like it is what it is. I'm not really too invested right now. So he goes home for summer break, and he lives on like another state basically. So then I stay like near campus, because I mean, I'm from Florida, and then nobody's doing all that. So I'm out here like on campus basically, and he's in another state, and we're basically still texting, and I'm just like, okay. But I'm still, at this point, I still haven't like invested any feelings for him, because I'm very like 0 or 100 type of person, working on getting a middle ground. But like back then I was very 0 or 100. Like I was super nonchalant, or I was like super into you. Like it was no in between. So he starts FaceTiming me now. And now we're like FaceTiming like for hours upon hours, and the vibe is there. Like it's not awkward or nothing. Like we're catching laughs over the phone. Like we're just chilling. Like even to the point that like I'm even like, I'm not saying like this means a lot, but like we were so comfortable with each other that like me and his brother would sit like on FaceTime and have conversations and like just talk and laugh. Like, you know, so it was just like, okay, like, all right. But I still at this time didn't really have feelings yet, but I was starting to see, like, take him more seriously. So fast forward to the night I caught feelings. So mind you, we're FaceTiming. Actually, we're falling asleep on FaceTime, which, mind you guys, I don't do that. Like, I don't. That's not really me. But because I really liked him, well, I didn't like him yet, but because I was like, I peeped that like that's something that he likes, and like I was starting to take him seriously. I was like, all right, it is what it is. Like, and I don't mean like, oh, we're talking on FaceTime. Like I mean like that cringeworthy, like you're sleeping on FaceTime, I'm sleeping on FaceTime. Both of our phones are plugged on the charger. So hang on to that, like, because they just hang on to what I just told you. So the night that I fell in like with him. So mind you, he was going out with his friends to the strip club, I think, or they was going out for a boys' night out or something like that. And I was like, okay, cool. Like now I'm free for the night. Like he's not that I was annoyed, but like I just kind of like cleared my night to be like, okay, this is gonna be like my night. I probably just stayed in the house that night for real. It was after he left the strip club with his boys and he was drinking or whatever. Mind you, he has to be to work in the morning, early in the morning. He has to be to his internship. So I'm already like under the impression like he's not gonna call me, but like if he just like texts me letting me know he gets in, that's cool too. So he FaceTimes me and I'm like, hello. Mind you, I'm geeked. I'm like, ah. I was geeked because I just felt like, oh, like you want to talk to me before you go in? Like, ooh, little old me. So he FaceTimes me and I'm like, okay, like, did you just get in the house? Whatever, you know, small talk, whatever. And then like he gets to telling me about his night. And I'm like, okay, it's actually getting late. Like after he tells me like what him and his friends did or whatever, like how it was that night. And he's like, no, like, how was your day? Like, the fact that he like took the time out, like, even though it was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, to just be like, not even like a quick, like, how was your day? Like, tell me like about your day. What did you do to, like, he wanted to know, like, he cared. That to me like hit a spot in my heart, like, and that's when I went soft for the nigga. So I'm just like, oh my God, he cares about me. Ah, whatever. So then fast forward now to, we went from FaceTiming to falling asleep on FaceTime to now he's calling me on his lunch breaks. He's calling me when he gets off of work. We're communicating all day nonstop basically, and it's not annoying. Like, that's another thing for me. Like, sometimes people get annoying to me or like boring, and then I'm like, ugh. But it wasn't annoying to me. It was just like, we kind of just fell in line with one another. So we're doing that, right? Then we're like in July now. So we've been texting, transitioning now to basically talking for 2 months. Mind you, it's in the middle of summer break from college. So we haven't seen each other since that very first time that we met, when it was like the energy was off. So he's like, oh, I'm about to go to this cookout. And I'm like, oh, really? Me too. And he's like, oh, okay, so you're coming to like around this side of town, basically. And mind you, he lives in another basically city. Once I get to that state, he lives in another city, but it's like not too far from where I was gonna be at. And plus we had like intentions on possibly linking when we went to the cookout. So I'm like, yeah. He's like checking in with me like, hey, I just left this spot. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm headed on like to that spot, or either it was vice versa. So that whole time I'm with my homegirls. I'm not the type of girl to drop everything she's doing for a dude. Like, that's just not me, especially if I'm with my homegirls, like, and my intention was to chill with y'all. Like, I'm not gonna do that to y'all, because I mean, dudes are always gonna be there regardless, like, but your friends, your homegirls, like, I don't know, that's just me. So he's doing his thing too. He's with his homeboy, so I'm not really stressing it. Like, if we link, cool. If not, we tried, right? So then it's like towards the end of the night, the cookout's over. I'm dropping everybody off home. And he's basically like, oh, like, are you still on this side of town? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And he's like, oh, well, I really wanted to see you tonight. And I'm just like, send me your address. But in my head, like, I'm super tired. And mind you, it's like a 2-hour drive back to campus. And he's like, here's my address. And he's 45 minutes from where I am right now. So I'm adding an extra, basically 2-hour commute from where I am on that side of town. Plus I have to drive another 2 hours to get to campus. So that's like 4 hours basically now. A 2-hour drive turned into a 4-hour drive. So I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of tired, whatever. And he's just like, you know, like, I really want to see you, whatever. Like, I would really like to see you. So I'm telling my homegirl, I'm like, oh, like, you know, he wants to see me. And she's like, girl, go see him. Like, I'm not tripping. Because there was another group of girls who also had, like, it was this girl's birthday, and she was having like a hotel like get together with all her girlfriends. And she was like, oh, I'll just go over there and like take a nap or whatever, and then you come get me, or we could just sleep at the hotel afterwards. And I only left her because I knew like it was only girls there, and it was girls that she knew, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make this drive for this dude because I'm feeling him. But if he's on some BS like he was the very first time we hung out, like, I'm out. Like, so I pull up to his house or whatever, and I'm the type of girl, like, I'm very respectful of like your mother's home. So I'm not sneaking in through the window. I'm not doing none of that. Like, I have a car, you have feet, like, walk to my car. Even though that's not like, he never said anything about me coming inside. That's not something I would do anyways, because it's late, and that's not the kind of impression I want to put. So he comes outside, he gets in the car, and I'm just like, I hope to God, like, it's not on that passive aggressive stuff that it was before. And he's basically like, oh, I really appreciate you for coming out here. Like, I really wanted to see you. I can't believe you came for me. Like, that means a lot, blah, 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 blah. So long story short, we basically 3 hours, in the car felt like 30 minutes. Like, the vibe was there. Everything was there. We had our first kiss. I was just like...
Boy, if you don't get...
I was geeked. So after that trip, it basically for me solidified like, okay, this is about to be my boo. Like, when we get back on campus, like, that's about to be my boo. Like, period. So fast forward to when it goes completely left. Because mind you, remember those red flags? Like, they kind of went away, right? Right. So I thought, okay, so he had this thing where he would always tell me how like women are not ish, like, you know, women be on games, like he can't trust women. Red flag number 1, number 4, but like basically number 1. Don't ever date or talk to an insecure dude. Don't ever date a hurt bae, because I feel like whoever hurt him before me had nothing to do with me. And like, he would always take that out on me. Like, he always wanted me to work 10 times harder for something that I didn't place that hurt there. And like, me and my homegirl, we would joke about it. I would call him an independent woman, because it's like, that's how an independent woman is. Like, she wants you to break down all the walls, and I'm not here for it. Especially if I'm falling asleep on FaceTime with you, if I'm allowing you access to call me and I'm picking up your calls, like, and I'm texting you throughout the day at a reasonable time. Like, I'm making time for you. I'm making you a priority. I shouldn't have to do extra steps. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not my job. Which is funny, because I kind of like became him later on. Like, now I'm kind of like him. But anyways, so yeah, that's not my job. And it would irritate me, like, when I would tell him, like, you know, I really like you, or like, I really missed you today. He'd be like, whatever. That's what all girls say. And I'm like, I'm not all girls. Get it right. So one night we was on FaceTime together, and he like kept saying that, or he kept like throwing shots and throwing digs at me. And I was just like, all right, like, after tonight, like, I'm not gonna talk to this dude for a while, because I'm very fight or flight. So like, if I keep telling you something and you keep doing it, I'm either gonna spaz, and my spaz is OD. Like I spaz out. So I was like, all right, I'm not trying to spaz on this dude. So I was like, all right, I just need to like distance myself. So the next day, he's texting me good morning, he's snapping me and stuff, and I don't know if I opened him. I can't remember I opened it, or like but I know for a fact I didn't respond. So I didn't respond to any of his messages, any of his snaps. So he calls me and he's like, why haven't you talked to me all day? Like, why haven't you been responding to my messages? Which to me, when he called me, it was to my surprise, because like, he had this like ego, like, oh, you have to work for this or whatever. So I didn't think he was gonna put his pride aside and call me. So when he calls me, I'm like, you called me? You put your pride aside for me? Okay. So he calls me and he's like, you know, like, why haven't you been talking to me? And I'm like, well, like I've told you from time and time again, I don't appreciate it when you do X, Y, and Z. Like, when you do that, it pisses me off. And he's basically like, you know what, I'm sorry. Like, I don't want you to be mad at me. And he basically apologizes. And y'all, the easiest way back into my heart, or like to get me to like forgive you, or like get to my soft spot, is to like be accountable. And he did that without asking. So I was just like, I mean, of course I can sweep this under the rug, you know? So I'm thinking, all right, this is the end of this. Like, we deaded it, like, no more. So fast forward, not even like a week, honestly. I can't pinpoint how many days it was, but I know it wasn't a week. He brings up how like, I'm not ish, and like, he doesn't trust no female, and blah, 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 blah. So now it struck a nerve. And instead, like I told you, I'm very fight or flight. So instead of like arguing with him, I was like, look, I'm done with you. Like straight shooter, like cold, like I'm done. We don't gotta do this no more. And he's just like, okay. And this is the thing, like he was very like, he's not gonna give up, but like he's not gonna beg you to stay either, no matter how much he wants you to. So he's like, okay. And I'm just like, bet. Because I'm a Cancer, even though I don't want to use the horoscope thing. But me, Esther, like naturally, like, okay, you want to be petty? I'll be petty too. Like, fine, you don't care? I don't care. Tit for tat. So, and mind you guys, red flag number 5. Literally after I told him it was like over, this dude goes and tweets, I guess I'll try next summer or something along those lines. And I'm like, okay. So you're mad at me because I'm tired of your crap and you're not even gonna try to like work it out. Like you're done. And I get it. I said I was done. I shouldn't have said that, but like you have no issues on my end. Like it's coming from you and your trust issues. Like, and you can't like what? But okay. But me still being like into him or whatever, the next day I'm like, I miss you. I snapped him like I miss you, whatever, and he was like, LOL, it's only been a day. When I tell y'all, my heart shot straight to my butt and pushed out of my booty hole. Like, I was so hurt. And I was like, damn. So cool. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna let him see me sweat. So we kind of like are still texting or whatever, but it's not the same anymore. And mind you, now it's like coming towards August. Like this happened early August, and like school started back up like a week later or 2 weeks later. So it's like we basically texted and talked that whole summer just to get to this point and be like, oh, we're done. And I wasn't ready to be done with him, if I'm being honest, because I feel like I invested time in you. Like we could get over this. And you're supposed to be my boo. Like, no, you're supposed to be my bae. Like, no, we're not doing that. So we're texting still, whatever, but it's not the same. But then, like, as soon as he red flag number 6, I just feel so stupid. I just feel like if I could go back, I would just. As soon as he touches down on campus, he like hits me up and he's like, come over, whatever. And I'm like, bet, like, I want to see you. It is what it is. And this time we're already kind of comfortable with each other, so it's not like that awkward, whatever. So I go over to his place. Mind you, this is before I rededicated my life to Christ. So I definitely back then was having sex. Like, it's just the truth. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. So I go over there. Mind you, we haven't had sex or anything like that. So I go over there, and one thing led to another, and
your boy show for me, but he gotta eat the booty like groceries, but he gotta get rid of these toast.
Yeah. So it was to me, it's not just about sex. Like, I'm sharing my body with you. So to me, it's very passionate. It's very like, it's all of that for me. So this is where I feel like at first it was like, okay, whatever. But like, this is where I feel like he was wrong. Because I share my body with you. And in that same breath, you're like, he said, we're laying down, mind you. And he's like, oh, I have to be to work early in the morning. And I was like, so what are you trying to say? You want me to leave? And he was like, no, bruh. Like, no, like, bruh. Red flag number 7. And y'all, when he said that, it really, 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 really hurt my feelings. Like, I felt so disgusted with myself because I just felt like, okay, so basically what you're telling me is you just wanted me for sex. And I feel like it was like a revenge thing. Like, you had sex with me to get back at the fact of me saying it was over, even though like that very next day I tried to make it work with us. But I wasn't smart enough back then to just be like, take that L and go. So it kind of like, just fast forward, it kind of became like a friends with benefits situation. I don't even want to say friends. We were just F buddies. It got to that point because it's like he didn't really care for me anymore. And like, I was so disgusted with myself. Every time like we hung out, I just felt like I still like you and you don't really care about me. And like, I feel like if you knew you didn't care about me, you should just never had sex with me at all. Cause that's not the type of time I was on with you. Like, and you was over here telling me how like women ain't nothing, da da da, but you end up playing me. How that work? So when this is when it like, this what I'm about to tell you is what really topped it for me. And I was like, oh, I'm done with this dude. But before then, actually, so boom, right? I'm like, all right, I need to stop messing with this dude or whatever because like it's not making me feel good. So we hadn't communicated. Like we probably hung out in the beginning of the semester, and then like that whole middle of the semester towards the end we did not communicate. So like I want to say it's like a month before the semester's over, so this is like right before finals. He calls me. No, I accidentally called him. You know how like, see, I was someone back then, I literally only talked to like 3 people on FaceTime. So like my FaceTime calls, it don't reload because not that many different calls coming in. So like his calls was still on there. And like, this is when I started working my second job and I was working the graveyard shift. So it was like 3 a.m. And by this time, my patient at the time, she was already put to bed. So I'm just up like waiting until my shift is over. And I'm trying to call my homegirl and I accidentally call him. But as you know, FaceTime, like as soon as you hit it, it goes through. So boom, I hang up quick and in a hurry. Like I'm like, oh no, like I don't need none of that over here. This dude calls me back. Don't pick up. Calls me back. Don't pick up. Then he texts me talking about some baby. Baby? So, sir, you're playing with me? Oh, so you're trying to play with my emotions. And then he even sent me a voice memo talking about some, oh, I'm so drunk right now. I'm in my car. I miss you. Whatever. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm not dealing with that. Like, 1, I'm at work. 2, like, no. You're not about to keep playing with my emotions. Like, you clearly know I like you and you only like me when you're drunk. Like, you only have feelings for me when you're drunk. Like, get out of here. But like, to me, still being the caring person, I wait until like later on that morning when it's like I'm getting off work, and I text him like, are you okay? And he texted me like, yeah, I was just drunk last night. I'm like, okay. Like, all right, I'm not even gonna address the whole whatever you just said. It's not I don't care. So this is where I was like, all right, the story, what I'm about to tell y'all. So I hit him up right before the semester, and this was like finals week. I hit him up and I go over there, and you know, one thing led to another, whatever. But like when I was there, he was just making me feel like, excuse my French, but he was making me feel like a slut. And he was just treating me in a way that I felt like, regardless if we're just having sex or whatever, even though to me it was not having sex, but I kind of settled. And that's another thing, ladies, like don't ever settle on what you want. Like if a dude is not willing to meet you where you're at, let that dude go. I know this now, but back then I was stupid. So I'm just kind of like, okay, you're making me really feel bad about myself. Like you're really like, now you're going out of your way to be mean to me, and I don't appreciate that. So that night, it was like the end of finals, and there was like this party. Mind y'all, this is before I rededicated my life to Christ. I don't know why I feel like I have to reiterate this, but I just do, because I don't want you guys to think that like I'm backtracking, even though I'm human. And even if I did backtrack, like that's between me and God. You know what I'm saying? But this is before I rededicated my life. So I'm at a party with, I think I went with a group of people. I don't remember. But I'm at a party with friends or whatever. And he comes walking in. And mind you, I had been drinking a little bit, so I'm feeling loose. He had already made me feel kind of like disgusting. I feel so like saying that, but like, I don't know what other word to tell you. Like when a dude just makes you feel like he's using you like that. So he had already made me feel that way. And you would think someone who's smart, who has knowledge, who has some type of dignity for themselves would be like, oh, okay, like I'm not saying 2 words to this dude if I ever see him. No, not me, because I'm stupid. Well, I was stupid. He walks in the party and he comes and he walks by me. Mind you, the bathroom, like, so he walks into the party, straight shot. I'm coming out the bathroom, he's coming in. And I'm like, hey, you know, a little tipsy, and I pull him in to the bathroom and I close the door. This man pushes me off of him. And he's like, no, bro, like, get off of me, whatever. And I'm just like, oh, so you can have sex with me. You can introduce me to your friends back then, and like me and your brothers, we could all chill. But like now, it's, oh no, bro, get off of me. Now you're embarrassing me. Okay, I'm gonna get off of you. You ain't never gonna have to worry about me again. Because like, I just feel like, you know, I'm a good person and you played with me. You really, really played me. And the thing about it is, you can play me all you want, but baby, you're playing yourself. You played yourself out of a good girl.
Period! 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 Period!
And that's on you. And honestly, I didn't feel like it was like an abusive type situation, like a toxic situation. It was just, I got played and I have to charge it to the game. Like, it happens. So fast forward, I never talked to the dude again. Blocked him on everything. Like, never talked to him again. He went, moved on with his life, graduated, did his thing. We're now in year 2020. He hits me up on Facebook and he's just basically like, oh, I want to right my wrongs, blah, 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 blah. And he wants to apologize. And I'm like, okay. So the woman that I am today, I'm gonna take the high road. But the woman I was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when I met you, that girl would have laid you out, cursed you out. But you know what? Cool. You wanna right your wrongs, you wanna apologize, fine. But one thing about me is I can forgive you, but I will never forget. Because it's just like, no, I'm not gonna forget. But that did give me some sort of closure, because it let me know, like, at the end of the day, he knew what he did to me was wrong and I wasn't tripping. You know, it assured me that his intentions were malice. Like, his intentions were to hurt me. It didn't just accidentally happen that way. Like, he intended on hurting me. Even though he claims like that, those weren't his intentions. But I'm like, what are you apologizing for then? I mean, I get you can accidentally hurt someone, but not like that. Like, you played me, so yeah. So yeah, y'all, that's the end of the story. All I want to say is the moral of this story is to say, y'all, please pay attention. Number 1, to the red flags. 2, do not settle. Do not lower yourself to meet anyone's demands. And know your worth. Because if I would have known my worth back then, there's no way that man would have got any inch of my body. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Charge it to the game. Keep it pushing. Because your girl is bigger and better now. And, you know, I wish that dude the best. And that's how you have to handle those situations. So thank you guys. If you made it this far to the end of the video, remember to please like, comment what you want to see next. If you guys want to see how I did this makeup look, leave a comment down below and I will definitely record that for you, and how I got this head wrap, because this is like my 3rd time coming on this platform with this head wrap. So or like this style. If you guys want to see, let me know. But yeah, just please subscribe, because it really does help me out. And it's, you know, I want you guys to see every time I post. Don't you guys want to see every time I post? Exactly. So thank you guys again. Remember to subscribe so you can be part of the messy gang. And peace, love, and blessings. Bye.